when people hear the word native, typically, it means that you've kind of grown up in a specific area or with something specific. And, that's no different when we talk about AI native. Certain organizations are newer to the market and as a consequence have had those benefits, right from the start. And that as a result of that, they've been able to build some competitive advantages using their sort of AI native approach because they simply work differently. Their operating model is designed around intelligence, adaption, and scale. So some examples here that we think are quite nice. First of all, Duolingo, that I'm sure given the kind of global audience we've got today, there's many users of the famous language learning app with the very over-enthusiastic owl. And of course, there's many competitors in the market. There's many different methods of language learning, but traditionally it was very much based on human authored content. And so they've done an AI sort of strategic redesign here. And they didn't just put some AI features onto that human content. They didn't just say, let's have a little chat bot to help you understand how to conjugate better. They actually sort of reimagined the language learning process around AI. So shifting from the static content to more AI-powered adaptive learning. And one of their real key competitive advantage has, of course, been their proprietary data loops. So this is essentially all of the signals that they're capturing while you're interacting with their enthusiastic owl. Every hesitation, they're understanding what little pinpoints in language people are really struggling with. And these signals, they can feed back into refining their personalized proposition for you as a learner, but also their wider growth model, how they can go about attracting new customers in the future. And that feedback loop is going to constantly allow them to improve and personalize, and is something that is absolutely unique to them, that proprietary data, because any organization might be able to buy the same AI tooling that they have, but they can't necessarily have access to that proprietary data, which gives them quite significant competitive edge. A second example we have here is from the payment provider Stripe. You might have noticed fintech has bred quite a number of AI native players because it's an industry, to my mind, which is very heavily embedded in the digital world. Clean data matters, automation matters, and being able to scale really matters. So it's a really fertile ground for AI native players. And of course, Stripe is competing with payment providers who have much larger brand recognition. And so what they've been able to do is actually layer AI processes in from the beginning as a result of being AI native. So embedding that intelligence into their processes as opposed to trying to bolt it on afterwards, which gives them much more effective ways of identifying fraudulent transactions and providing the trust that customers want in order to go with their brand as opposed to some of the other better known competitors. And finally, one example at the bottom that I personally quite like, but maybe sort of less well known, is an example of a provider in the insurance space, or the insurtech space, called Cover. And what I think is really nice about them is there's a huge amount of hype in the AI world. I don't need to tell anybody on this call that. And of course, a lot of AI native organizations appear to be doing very well due to huge quantities of investment. There are some believers, and as a result, they've got a lot of money in their pockets right now. But Cover very much have money in their pockets with a very small number of employees and haven't done it through raising a large amount of capital. They've done it because they have a very profitable business model. And again, what they've been able to do is take a more AI native approach as a result of being relatively new to the market. And so how they've done this is ensuring that the AI embedded in their organization allows them to test new opportunity models, new growth models at a scale that larger insurance providers aren't able to work with. So one of their most profitable offerings is sort of short-term car insurance. So, for example, I would like to borrow my friend's car for 2 or 3 days. A larger insurance provider might not have produced that as an offering so quickly and taken that to market, or been willing to, because they would have said that perhaps the underwriting process associated with that wasn't necessarily worth the amount of money they could earn for it. But actually being AI native from the start, Cover have been able to test these new growth methods and hold on to that competitive advantage as a result of being able to bring new products to market faster than some of the incumbents.